Hi there, welcome back. My name is Tiffany. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this very simple, basic, but beautiful scarf. It's made from homespun yarn, and homespun yarn is already naturally a very beautiful yarn. We gravitate towards it down the yarn aisle. So by us doing a very basic stitch with homespun yarn, we end with a very beautiful product. I'm going to show you the basic stitch to make the body of the scarf, and I'm going to end with how I put the fringe on the bottom of the ends, which just ties the project together. It's the finishing touch. So let's go. The materials that you're going to need to make this scarf, it's a little more than 1 skein of homespun yarn. You're going to want a measuring tape or a ruler. Ruler will do great. A size J crochet hook, a pair of scissors, and of course some fabric glue to tie out when we weave in our ends. To begin, we just take our yarn and our crochet hook and we chain 152 chains. That will be our foundation line. So, the most difficult thing about working with homespun yarn is its texture. It will hide a lot of stitches. It will hide a lot of spaces because the texture will just conceal the space. So when we are chaining, make sure that you give yourself some space. You really don't want it too tight. Otherwise, you're not even going to see the stitch when we go to work in it. So make sure when you are crocheting your chain and for your very foundation that each space is left with a good sized gap. Not too, you don't want anything too big because then it'll be sloppy, but I'm just saying right with your gauge of your hook. Okay, so go ahead and chain 152. All right, we just finished 152 chains. Phew! All right, so now what we're going to do is double crochet in the third space from the hook. So the spaces are a little harder to see than usual, but we gave them plenty of space, like I mentioned before, so it makes it a little easier. I like to look at the bottom loops. They help me. So I see one loop there. So 1, then 2, and then 3, 4. So I go 3. I'm going to yarn over, insert in that third space, pull through, have 3 loops on my crochet hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2, and there is your double crochet right there. You're going to put 1 double crochet in each space across. There should be 150 spaces because these 2 spaces that we used for our turning, they're gone. So there's only 149 spaces left. But what's great about homespun yarn, because of its texture, if you miss a space and you get to the end and you're like at 148 and you're like, uh-oh, I must have missed 2 spaces somewhere. No one will ever know because homespun yarn's got this amazing texture that hides all mistakes unless it's a pretty massive mistake. It also makes it difficult to make a complicated stitch because it's a little more difficult to see where you got to put your crochet hook. And also, if you do a complicated crochet stitch with homespun yarn, it is very possible that it gets lost in this texture and you can't really see it. So doing a very simple crochet stitch with homespun yarn is perfect because the homespun yarn texture is so beautiful. Again, it really shines through even a simple stitch. So go ahead and try to count all the way to the end. You definitely want to have 150 double crochets on your foundation chain. If you get really close, like 148, or if you might have added a stitch and have 151, 152, it's okay. No one will ever know the difference, and the scarf will still turn out absolutely beautiful. Okay, so go ahead and continue on doing a double crochet in each space all the way across. You got this. I'll see you at the end. All right, just finished that row of double crochets. So now what you do is you chain 2, 1, 2, turn your work, and then continue double crocheting across. So in that first space right there. Now in row 2, you're going to be able to actually see where to put your stitches, because you're just going to put them on the top of the stitch from the row before. So you just find that stitch and boom, right on top of it is where you're going to put your next double crochet. So I'd yarn over. This is my first space. Chain 2, chain 2, double crochet right there. Yarn over, next space. Pull through 2. Pull through 2. What you're going to do, the pattern for the scarf, is just a single double crochet stitch in every space for 9 rows. So you're going to do 9 rows. This is row 2. So stop after you finish row 9, and all you're doing is putting 1 double crochet in each space. That is it. Pretty simple, right? Okay. So keep going, and I will meet you at the very end of row 9. Okay, great. I just finished row 9, and to count them, if you are struggling with your counting of rows, it's okay. There's 1, 2. You just kind of eyeball where your double crochets are. So there's 1 right above it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. Okay? Got 9 rows. If you want to go 10, go 10. I'm not stopping you. I already cut off my yarn and tied a knot in the end. And now we're going to weave in our ends. So, from one side, pull it through, and we're going to go across this way, okay? So I'm going to go on the other side, pull it through. And it doesn't matter if it's very bulky and large to see, because we're going to be covering up these bits with our fringe. So the other side here, just weave back and forth, back and forth. Great. Okay. So once we have that little bit remaining, you just grab your glue. This one has a lot of yarn. I'm going to put it sideways so my glue kind of pulls forward on me. I'm going to take my scissors, cut that off. And just the smallest little bit is great. And a little bit there. Perfect. That'll secure it down. Okay, I'm going to let that dry, set that aside for a second, and I'm going to pull out my measuring tape. Or you can use your ruler. So you want to now cut strips of your yarn for the fringe. So all of my strips are 12 inches long. When I lay it on there, I do not pull it tight to lay it on there, okay? That took me a little while to learn because then I would go to use it and it would just bunch back up again. So when I lay my yarn on my measuring tape, I just let it bunch. Then I'll find where it's 12 inches. I'll pinch it. And then that is where I cut. Okay. Perfect. You want 90 of these strips. 90. Once we have all 90, then we are going to make piles of 5. We'll do pile of 5 here, pile of 5 here, pile of 5 here. I put on my ends of my scarf, there's 9 rows. So on this end, I'll put 5, 5, 5. So there'll be 9 groupings of 5 for this side, and then on the opposite side of the scarf, we'll do it again. There'll be another 9 rows. So you need a total of 90 of these little yarn pieces. Okay, so go ahead and take a second and cut out 90 of those and then group them in piles of 5. Got it? Okay, I'll see you in a second. All right, once you are all done cutting your 90 strips and placing them here in groups of 5, bunching them in groups of 5, we are now ready to place them on the ends of our scarf. So on the end of each row, we're going to put our knotted fringe. So here is a group of 5. I put their ends together so that they're looped like that. I take my crochet hook, and so here is row 1. Find the last double crochet, just kind of pop that there in between. Put the crochet hook underneath, grab all of those pieces of yarn, pull through. I will make a hole there, pull out. Take my 2 fingers and grab that yarn, just pull it through there, and there is my knot. And that's my first fringe. It's literally that easy. Okay, so then I'll grab my next group of 5, put the ends together, have my finger right there at the loop, grab my crochet hook, find row 2, all my double crochets, pop that through, underneath, like slide it along your finger, just like glide it along your finger, grab all of those pieces of yarn, slip it through. Looks like some of them are dropped. There we go. Okay, grab that loop, put that off to the side. Put your 2 fingers in that little slip, grab the yarn, just pull it through, and pull it tight. There's 2. All right, and you just keep repeating that process all the way across. Go ahead, I know you can do it. I'll see you when you are all done with this row. All right, just finished all of the fringe on this side of the scarf. Lay it all flat. Isn't that pretty? Just works out really great, and it's super simple. Now let's do the other side to finish it off. All right, I will see you when you are all done. All right, so what do you think? I love HomeSpun yarn. It is so simple to use. It makes the most beautiful products. The color schemes that they have are just gorgeous. They make beautiful things with just a simple stitch. You can also diversify this. You can manipulate this pattern. We just did 9 stitches across. You can make 10, you can make 12, you can make this as fat as you want,
Or if you really want to, you can make it even longer and make a shawl using the same stitch, put the fringe on it, go even longer, make a blanket. You can use this one simple stitch with this yarn to make something gorgeous. Well, I really hope you had a great time with me. I loved making this scarf with you, loved showing you how to do it. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, just so that way people will see that it is a video that is helpful. If you haven't yet and would like to, please subscribe to my channel. That just helps me to get found, and that's all I want, is for people to find me. I want to help people to make beautiful things. Well, my name is Tiffany Hansen. Thank you for spending time with me today. I will see you next time. Bye.